O'clock today, so we'll look to get started here. Call this order. Can we get a roll call vote?
Adam Berkeley is not here. Kristen Gajewski. Yeah. Sally Donato. Here. Kate will be absent. Kareem will be absent. Mike Sherrick.
Here.
Jessica Kristen. Here. And Rick Weinhoffer.
Here. Thank you so much. Any public comment today? Thank you so much. So from the last council meeting, we have to
they're corrected in the version they got.
correct in the version.
The rec board.
The rec board.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we approve.
You just need to approve them as is.
Do we have to do anything for the ones that we did not approve at council?
No, because they approved.
They approved them.
They approved them
pending the
pending.
change.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the change was made in the version that was sent out to the rec board.
Understood. I missed the change. Thank you for the correction. All right. So did everyone get a chance to review the September minutes? Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the September minutes. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Sure. Yes.
And we have a second. Motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Wonderful. Minutes pass. All right. On to the financial report. Anything jumping out that anybody has questions on the financial report this month?
You can actually read it.
Anything, Randy, you want to draw our attention to for this month? It looks pretty straightforward.
Nothing specific.
Real easy month. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the financial report. Anyone like to make that motion? Perfect. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Flying through today. All right, committee reports. Pool, do we have any updates for committee reports?
No, we're just trying to get together a full committee meeting so that we can, I guess, discuss the budget for December.
Perfect.
But we're still just trying to lock in the time, but
Wonderful.
we'll get there.
Thank you so much. Any playground updates, Kristen?
Nothing really. We haven't, we don't have too much to get going with. We're gonna focus on, cost savings. I'm gonna look for some donors. I've noticed some playground programs have a lot of businesses that do donations, so I'm gonna work with the facilitator to see if they'll partner with me in doing that. And our other big goal is defining the roles for the upper management as far as who's doing what, so that there's not any overlap in responsibility and hours and things there. And my personal goal is to take a big step back and be significantly less involved in the day-to-day. So hopefully that will all come to fruition, but that will all, we haven't had a meeting yet, so probably we'll have one later in the month or into November. Maybe I'll have an update for November.
Perfect. Thank you for the update. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Spooky Hollow, the big one. So
Yeah.
on the horizon. So
Yeah.
what you got for us tonight, Sally?
Yeah, so Spooky Hollow is coming up. It's this Saturday, 3 to 6. We've been working really hard on getting everything together. The weather looks good, thank goodness. Knock on wood, but it's all sun in the forecast. So we're super excited about that. The highs are just like in the 70s, so really good. All the pieces seem to be coming together. Everything's booked, and we have hopefully enough volunteers. We didn't get quite as many volunteers, but we might still get. I actually just got another student signed up today to do one of the games. So we are still things on. We might get a few more, but I think at this point we're in a good spot in terms of volunteers for.
But I think we have more than we did last year, for sure, right?
Yes, but we also have a lot more activities this year than we did last year.
Okay.
We would love help from Rec Board.
Sure. What time would you anticipate you would need rec board members there, and what do you anticipate
Right,
a little
so I think for setup or cleanup in particular, I think we're gonna be there, I think by between noon and 3 would be like real good setup time if you guys, if anyone's free. If you're not, it's okay, but we, certainly use your help. If you could actually let me know too, maybe at the meeting if you can. And then, we're hoping that cleanup will be a little less arduous because we're really trying to make sure we include the cleanup at each station as part of what the volunteers are going to be doing. Plus we have paid playground staff, 5 kids who are going to be staying on to help. So it shouldn't be too bad, but many hands make light work and stuff.
How do you want us to let you know? Should we just tell you now, or do you want emails?
Yeah, you can tell me now, or you can tell me at the end of the meeting.
So I can tell you, for me personally, earlier in the day, I won't be able to get there probably until about at start. You can count me in for cleanup detail.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's great. So everything's coming together. You can see the beautiful signs out there that Randy's ordered. And any questions? It's gonna be a wonderful event. It's gonna be probably mobbed, but that's good.
That's the point.
Yeah, we want to get a lot of folks coming out. So, do you want to add anything?
I'll go over a couple of things
Okay.
during the director's report.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, Sally, thank you so much. Sounds like you got everything under control. Appreciate the quick overview for it today. And then on to lighting of the greens. So that's me. So we do have a committee meeting set up for a week from Monday, the 21st? The 21st, Monday, we have the meeting set up. So we're gonna have a committee meeting from there, so we'll have updates closer, but we are getting close to that.
Is it 5 or 5:30?
5:30, and we didn't have a place yet for it. We try to get a time hammered down. Does this work, or is there somewhere else do you think?
Yeah, this is fine.
Perfect, so I'll just shoot that in that text chain, so we'll be here 5:30 on Monday for that. So nothing else for committee reports. Unless anybody has any other committee questions?
So sorry, so the meeting will be Monday 5:30 here in this room. Okay.
Do I have a motion to accept all of the committee reports?
I think you need one.
What? No,
I think you need
don't need one? Perfect, so we'll avoid that. Wonderful. On to the director reports. And Randy, what else do you have for us tonight?
Revenues this past month, since our last meeting, was $1,000 from facility rentals. The nice thing is the Stonehouse, I'm not sure if you guys have been by there to see it, but the amount of work they've gotten done is amazing. I met Jim over there today. He's hoping they sod by the end of the week, and if we could get some rain after Saturday, the sod could start taking. But he's pretty much promised that it'll be handed over for lighting of the greens, at least the lawn area surrounding it. There was some discussion of how we would get vehicles in there to unload tents, chairs, supplies, things like that. We figured that out, but it looks really nice if you haven't been by there. And they've done a great job of making the park accessible for people while they work. So I give them a lot of credit for what they've done. So that's the facilities. The fundraising campaign will start this month. I've started drafting the first letter. Like I said last time, if you guys have anybody that you think we should target specifically, that you feel good about, please send me their name, email address, the company name. Since our last meeting, the 2025 Gilmore Henney Community Fund grant was awarded to us. It's a $2,000 grant that Kristen found online that we applied for, and we were awarded it. It goes specifically toward the Playground Carnival night.
And I would add 2,000 is the maximum you could be awarded, so.
So the neat
Randy
thing
put
about
a
it,
lot, Randy will not say this, I was copying on all the emails, Randy put a lot of work into it with our grant writer.
the nice thing about it is we have to write up a summary after the event. I read through the questionnaire today, so it's pretty intense.
Oh, grants are a lot of work on the front and back end.
Normally for 2,000, you don't do this much work on some of our 100,000 plus grants. So
Probably the smaller. It's funny how
Yeah.
the smaller ones. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not funny how it works.
I'm not sure.
Did that cover the whole carnival night or no?
No.
No.
I'm not sure who Gilmore is. I know Henney was the football player, the Kansas City Chief guy, but I'm not sure who Gilmore was or is. As far as the director's report, when I get into the events, last Saturday was our final Movies in the Park, Elemental. Rick, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
It was packed. It was a perfect night for it. I think it got down to like 54 degrees by the time the movie was on, no wind, and really well attended. So I had a lot of people stick around afterwards to compliment us on the entire program. So now that we own the screen, and really the only thing we pay for is the movie and the licensing fee, I think there's opportunities to do more movies. The tough part is always the weather. So, Fall Walk Series started on Sunday. If you guys haven't been out to it, it's a combination of people who come out for it specifically because they're parking at the Goodman Barn and then they go for the walk. But then there's also the people that are just walking in the park that you get to talk to. And they love the fact that they get to learn history while they do it. I met a teacher at Berks, Penn State Berks, one of the history teachers, and she said, hey, I'd like to collaborate with you next year to make this even bigger. So,
Oh, wonderful.
which is a great thing. But it's working out really well. We have one more event, I think it's November 10th, Sunday the 10th. The Booing Halloween house decorating, I think we're up to 25 people who have pre-registered already. We have 8 gift cards from local businesses, and today Eric from Kamala, the taco place,
Oh.
he just committed to 2 more, so I think we're up to 10 now.
Nice.
Sally, thanks for the update on the Halloween carnival. A couple of things. We have a special guest. The Sanderson sisters are going to be there. We're showing the movie Hocus Pocus. If you guys didn't go and see Willy Wonka, it's the same company that we're getting these characters from. And you guys know as well as I do, Hocus Pocus and the Sanderson sisters are a cult. People love them. Just watch out for your kids because they like to eat them. Sally's right, the weather's perfect. 2 to 4 mile an hour winds, and I think the high is 74, and the temperature doesn't drop below 55 till late that night, so good night.
It's 3 to 6 though, Randy, right?
Yeah, it's 3 to 6. Yeah.
The signs are right, that's what
Yeah,
matters.
yeah. Some great donations. Kimberton Whole Foods, who partnered with us last year, they gave us 200 apples last year. They're giving us 400 this year. And those of you Palmer Chocolate Company fans, they gave us 6 cases of candy. The State Farm on Park Road, Brandon, I can't remember his last name, he donated candy. ROG is setting up a photo booth, a free photo booth. Fleet Feet Soccer Club, Wyomissing Library, and the YO football players are all working in the carnival as well. So a lot of extra work from those guys from donation side, and a big thanks to the Public Works team. Those guys have built us some great games, and not just the games, but just working in general. Like I said earlier, tomorrow we're going to get all the pumpkins, getting all the stuff we own and moving it and getting it there. They'll be there Saturday morning to help set things up. Hard to believe, but Twinklepalooza, the Christmas decorating or holiday house decorating contest will start the 1st and lighting of the greens. We're really getting started. I have reached out to a bunch of the marketplace people, and 6 of the 10 that were there last year have already committed. Booked the DJ, booked Wyomissing band. So a lot of stuff is already in the works, and you'll find out that at the meeting as well.
I think you're Randy, it's wrong. What is the actual, is it the next day?
Imagine
Oh,
December.
it's December 8th.
Wow, most of these dates I didn't change. It'd be tough to do that the next year. Huh?
Yeah.
Christmas in October.
Programming, playground. Kristen said, pretty much summed it up. We're waiting to have a meeting with Aaron and Nikki. With school back and then being so involved with the school, it's been tough to match our schedules yet. But we want to have a next step meeting where we establish timelines, pick dates for the events for playground, and really start nailing things down for that. The pool, the biggest negative, and it wasn't negative, was the snack bar. I won't even say it could be better, it's definitely a negative. I'm not putting complete blame on full service concessions. I think that they spread themselves too thin. They had a great successful year with us last year, and based on that success, other people hired them to run their snack bars, and I think the guy was just spread too thin, and he let high school kids run the snack bar by themselves. So I'm having a meeting with him and the owner of the company sometime next week to go over that. If you remember, we signed a 1-year lease, so we're not committed to them. 2025 programming. We talked last meeting about Sally being WSI certified. We're going to move forward with that program as we discussed it. Next steps on that is I'll be writing up for the rec guide to really hone in on the fact that we have WSI certified instructors.
Oh, Randy, I was gonna tell you, on the, I think you were talking about like writing up a little bit of description of what each level would look like for swimming lessons. If you go to the Body Zone, but they, I think, also participate with the Red Cross, and their descriptions are really good. They're really succinct and they're very true to the Red Cross levels. They might even be taking the language right from it.
Okay.
So just a thought, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
The other two programs, we didn't get to have our pool committee meeting. The idea was to run these programs. Part of the surveys, what came back was that people wanted more out of the pool membership other than just walking in and swimming. There's some budget info stuff that I turned in. We'll start working on that with Phyllis and the finance team. But some of the things we can do without having to allocate money was to build an additional aqua fitness program. We currently have swimnastics, and thank God Kathy's there. She's got a tremendous following of 80-year-olds. Good thing is she's got a good following. Bad thing is they die off and 2 new ones come on. As sad as that is, but that's the reality of it. She doesn't want to expand on her program. She is good at what she does. I found a lady that's in the community. Her name is Sherry Free. Yep, that's her name. She's unbelievable. I met her at the pool. She is a certified aqua fitness professional. They don't just give out those certifications. Kate knows her. What she does at other pools is the difference between her and Kathy is this program would be a 1099 person where you pay at the pool to participate, and then we split the fee with her. So we would cut her a check at the end of the month. We keep track of how many people. We make some money and she makes some money. So it's a money-making endeavor for us as well. What we do is carve out Wednesday evenings from 6:30 to 7:30. Her and I talked about 10 different sessions and how we could run that. She runs this class, this sweat aqua fitness. She's the only certified sweat instructor in Eastern Pennsylvania. So people come from all over to come to this class. The other one, we kind of fell into this conversation. If you remember when we lost the Top Lot program, it was kind of mixed. We lost those kids. A lot of them went and enrolled in swim lessons. Not that they wanted to go to swim lessons, it was almost a babysitting service for them, an hour-long babysitting service that their kids got watched by lifeguards while they splashed in the pool. So in that vein of thought, I was like, okay, well, what if we came up with something that would be entertaining, that parents could participate the same way, that they are there with their kid, but they're sitting on the sideline, and we can do what's called a magical mermaid party. Mermaid comes to the pool for an hour, and the same type of thing. She'd be 1099. We'd split the fee with her. She'd make some money, and we make some money. We do it once a week, and we'd have 9 sessions with her.
Do you think she would open that up to maybe 4-year-olds? Because 5 to 8, you're still not going to encompass
The
a
top
majority of
class.
those kids.
She said she's had things with 4-year-olds. It's just hard to keep their attention.
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah.
this? Is this a different person? Like this person is
Yeah.
different than the other sweat instructor?
Yes, this isn't a fitness
Yeah,
instructor.
It's just like a party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's just my only, I think that demographic is
I
still, a
asked
lot
her-
of those kids are still gonna be, a lot of those kids are gonna be taught playground, which is then gonna be a conflict timing wise, cause they'll have to pull them out of playground to bring them to this, and then maybe take them back, kind of like they do for swim team.
Yeah,
What's the timing for this?
this would be 10:45 to 11:45.
Yeah.
The same time, swimnastics is going on.
Is that the same time swim lessons go?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they'll all be in the same spot?
Well, they would be on the very shallow corner where the
Yeah.
ramp coming down, and swim lessons are typically on the side or by the dive well. So we met and walked through everything on how it would be laid out.
Does she have any mandatory minimums that like are we required to pay her?
She said that she would want, if there's less than 4, she wouldn't want to do it.
So is that
It's not-
something that you register for ahead of time for the session? So if it is something, if we decide to step forward, and to your point, if there is conflicts with it, we're not committed to paying her a minimum for.
Oh, no, we don't have to
If
pay
four
her.
spots-
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
that's-
yeah,
But to the point, we're not on the hook to do things
right.
for
Yeah.
her if they don't show up. So
Yeah.
if they don't show up, class is canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, worst case, we just don't do it. Yeah, I don't know that it's gonna fill that void. I think we'll
Yeah.
still run into that same,
I agree with that.
people will still try to, cause they're still gonna have those 4 not yet kindergarten age kids, and they're not gonna be able to do that either.
Yeah, I think 4 would be great if she would be willing to do that, and
But if
maybe you could add the
Well, that's what
minimum.
I'm saying, she
Yeah, but
doesn't
if
want
the
to do
program-
4.
You
Yeah.
went back to her and asked her for the 4.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that was all part of the initial conversation,
Yeah, I
because I wanted to
understand.
start at 4,
Yeah.
and she said it's too hard to keep there.
I
It
get
takes
that.
away from everybody else's experience, because she's having to spend too much time with 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
She said that's like the magic cutoff.
If you have the maximum of 10, maybe you could put the minimum of 4 on there, so it only runs if
Oh yeah,
there's 4.
this isn't the write-up, once I get
Okay.
to that, this is just a
Yeah,
quick
Gotcha,
overview.
gotcha.
And Randy, you're sure that swim lessons are like in that same spot, like with the
My
little?
Aiden's were in that spot by the ramp. That's where his swim lessons were.
Yeah, I talked to Chris about it, and he felt that the swim lessons would be, that we could do all 3. How he talked to me about laying it out, so.
Because like a little kid would be under. If you take him out to, like the only area Aiden can stand is in that ramp area that's roped off. Like if you take him to any other side, I don't think they can stand.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking she's imagining she'll be like by the ramp, and like Emily's were in that same shallow area, but they were like underneath the lifeguard chair. So it's all, that whole area is shallow, but you could divvy it up. Like
So you're
I think
saying
they
divvy up
had,
that area.
they had 2
yeah.
different lessons going on at the same time.
Gotcha.
I
So
think
it's still
that-
in that shallow area.
Yeah,
swim
yeah, it's still-
lessons. Okay, I
it's-
misunderstood then.
And depending on the age group, they could go to the deeper end. She said it all depends on what the ages of the class
Yeah, exactly.
and their swimming levels,
Yeah.
so. And with both of these, we have to have lifeguards on duty, and there's a bunch of prerequisites of what we still have to do.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Can I ask about sweat? So that's happening at night while the pool's open?
Mm-hmm.
Where's
Question.
that gonna be at?
And similar to where they do swimnastics now.
Okay.
And the thought is we would open a swim lane at the same time for lap swimming.
Swimming.
And so people could be in the dive well area and the very shallow end for kids. And what Chris talked about was while we do something like this, he has a volleyball tournament or says, okay, wiffle ball is gonna be opened
That's a
up
great
and
idea.
we'll promote doing other things to get the kids out of the pool.
Okay. But there won't be any music playing because
She'll have her own music,
for
yeah.
her Zoom.
We do Zumba at the Hills once a week, and it's like, you know, the kids, you deal with it. They'll get used to it, and we'll just, it's Zumba night.
Yeah,
And
I feel
then
like
you just go in the shallow end, or
Well,
you
it's
can
kind
go
of what
somewhere else,
Kate,
and
it's
then
kind of what
like,
Kate
yeah.
said is encourage them to get out of the pool and go
Yeah,
swim
I
right
like
at the
that.
snack bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
should
you're-
be reflected in the guide that Wednesday evenings, all these activities are
Yeah.
happening in this window of time and actual pool space will be limited
Yeah.
to the shallow end and the diving area kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
Yeah,
bunch
giving
of
people heads
stuff,
up.
there's a bunch of stuff based on the survey that I wanna update in the rec guide. We should be listing when swim team matches or whatever they call us, meets. There's a bunch to update with the pool for the rec guy. Last is the 2025 events. This was kind of Chris's idea that he felt that we were missing the boat on events. We've done moonlight swims and we did the end of season party, but he wants to have a member night. He wants to have an organized volleyball league night, or we play volleyball every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock or something, and
good
make
idea.
more things. That he's assured that now he's got a year under his belt of learning the pool, and he has some great ideas of what we can do. So we're looking at things to not spending money, but having more stuff to do with the pool.
Yeah, I really like the idea of volleyball, because I always look at that court and I'm like, it's such a nice court. I never see kids playing on that court.
And if we get the money to do the wiffle ball court, it'll be even nicer. So, that's it for the director's report, unless anybody has any questions.
Okay, no other questions. We need a motion to approve the director's report. Oh, no motions tonight?
Motion that.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, just in case. All in favor?
Just in case.
Aye.
CYA.
Wonderful. Moving on to the fee schedule. Did everybody get a chance to take a look at the proposed fee schedule? Anything jumping out at anybody this go around for us, what we're thinking about as far as the fees go on everything?
So Tot last time shouldn't be on there, right?
Oh,
We still,
It should
the
just
ages are
be-
wrong though.
Yeah,
The ages are wrong.
Kindergarten,
It's just,
You have to have
you
completed.
had completed kindergarten. So, and the kindergarten can be a private or a public kindergarten, is that correct? So if kids went to Yoakum, for example, for
Correct.
kindergarten this year, they would be eligible. Or if kids went to Montessori for private kindergarten, or if kids went to Wyomissing.
I don't think we're trying to split that hair at the rec.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Mhm.
on
Completion
bringing up
of
for
kindergarten.
clarification.
Yeah, but it's just that it's not age 5, it's age whatever, having
Yeah.
completed kindergarten.
Having completed
at least
kindergarten.
5 and
Kindergarten
completed.
through
Yes,
and
yeah,
then
yes,
yeah.
I would put after the 4 to 6 in parentheses, having completed, and having completed kindergarten.
Before,
Well,
no 4-year-olds
you can't even
can
go to
have
kindergarten until you're
kindergarten.
5.
So it's not, yeah.
Yeah, I'll update that for Melissa.
I think the age is wrong.
And if you remember, the only two things the prices are going up are tennis lessons and playground registration fees.
Let me ask you this, the playground registration. So you're doing $155 per child, which is $1.15 an hour during the day, but $90 per child, which is $1.25 an hour in the evening. The evening kids get next to no programming, as far as I've heard. All of the programming goes to the daytime kids. So the nighttime kids are paying more per hour with far less programming. And then this year, I think we brought in, now I know we're never gonna make money or break even, that's obvious, and that's not my intention. But this year, I think we brought in like 55,000 in fees, but we spent 88 in labor. Now I know that number will go down because it was the first year for a lot of people. But then on top of the 88 we spent for labor, we spent close to 30 in supplies, which is a ton of money. So if we've got a 9-week program, I feel like spending, $27,000 is really overboard, in my opinion.
I think one thing we didn't mention last month when we met about this is that I don't know if you were here for the meeting when Randy talked about, like, he didn't know he was sharing the budget line
Right.
with Public Works. Were you at that meeting? Yeah. Okay, so I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, Randy, but you went most of the season thinking that this
30
money
yeah.
was yours
we
to spend.
Playground
what-
spent
oh, I guess
$26,000.
So what's the estimated, like, are we looking at $1,000 a week? Are we looking at like $9,000? Like, what are we looking to spend per week?
Right.
on the playground programming, knowing we're already, this year we were already $33,000 in the hole just on labor.
Right.
So, and I know that will theoretically be smaller next year, but I know you share the budget with the playground maintenance kind of things. But just if they spend less doesn't mean I think we should be spending more on playground. Like I think we need to come up with a number that's feasible.
Yeah, I already
Is
split
it
that.
like $1,000 a
We
week?
go over,
You're talking
we'll
about
go over all that
$9,000.
with the finance
$500 a
department on
playground
Thursday.
seems like a lot of money a week when.
So, I mean, for what it's worth, in prior years that I've been part of the financial discussion, both here and at finance, nobody's ever questioned the amount that's spent on the program. And I mean, I can verbatim remember the comment coming up of, it's rec. It is viewed no different than water, sewer, trash. It's a service we provide to the residents.
It is, but rec has also expanded significantly with more movies and bigger money spent on the 4th of July parade was big this year, spending wise. The Happy Hollow's getting bigger. Like everything's getting bigger, which is fabulous. But it's like we can't keep spending money.
Yeah.
We're dropping our
Yeah, we're not-
reserves $2 million a year. We can't keep doing
Next
that.
year budget is not increasing on materials and supplies.
The number
Well, I want it to decrease. Like,
Well, it
what,
is-
you spent $26,000.
26,000.
Right. So I think that's still way too much.
But
for 9
what
weeks.
he's saying is the budget is staying at roughly 30, but it's 50-50 split between parks and playgrounds. You're
Okay,
looking
so
at like
you're
what,
looking at-
15?
You're
No, ours is higher. Ours is still 20, the budget's set at 26, and I think Greg is 8 or 9.
So you're at like 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's $2,000 a week.
Yeah, but
Not quite.
I'm trying to figure how are you doing this math to figure out what it is you want to
9
spend?
weeks.
There's 9 weeks. So if you have 17,000, you're spending just under $2,000.
Yeah, but
a
that's
week.
what I'm saying. Are you looking for a target number that you think
Yeah,
is appropriate?
I am looking for a target number that's smaller than 26,000, just because I feel like that's a lot. And then the question is, can any of this be allocated to the nighttime program?
Oh, it is. Next year's nighttime program. That's part of the meeting with Aaron and Nikki.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the
that's-
negatives, or could be better,
Yeah.
from the survey was, we wish there was more stuff to do for the nighttime kids. So
Okay.
our goal is to spread the wealth next year.
Okay, good. Yeah, I just had parents complaining about nighttime playgrounds this year and what little programming they got.
Yeah, and I would say too, like, I mean,
Did
some
you tell
kids
them
just
go
like,
to daytime?
Yeah, they
That's the answer.
have 2 parents who work full-time,
Oh,
so
yeah.
they can't send their 3 children to daytime because it's only 3 hours, so they have to pay for full day programming, and then they additionally pay for
No,
nighttime
if you get
programming.
that feedback though and give that to us, because that didn't come back to us on the
It
survey
did,
at all.
well, that one survey it did, because
Okay.
she did fill out the
'Cause
survey.
I
So we
know
got
that
one
just
survey.
from Emily, but I agree, and that's been on my radar for sure.
Okay,
because
that's good. I'm just
Yeah,
checking in
yeah,
because
yeah.
somebody brought it up to my
Mhm.
attention.
and I would also say the opposite too, like the traditional playground where it's like more of the free play and more of like I don't know how much that's in the morning, maybe
Well, that
we
was
could
the
alleviate a
feedback
little bit of the
When
programming.
I did the
to-
research before we started, and I talked to parents, was evening playground is kids going in and hang out. They don't want to play, they don't want any structure, they want to play court ball, they want to play basketball. That was the feedback I got, so that's how we
Well,
built the
not from
curriculum.
this one particular
Well-
parent,
Yeah.
but I don't know how many other.
That might be one of 500, but what
Did
I'm
we
saying,
get, how many surveys did we get back?
last I looked was 79,
79, so we got like 12%.
yeah.
so.
That's a really small
Yeah,
percentage.
but if they care that much, they'll tell us.
Right.
So,
That's
but,
actually
but we are
We
listening
should
in, we'll
have
build
expected
more
out.
curriculum for the evening playground.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to bring
They're not
that to
gonna
your
get
attention.
snow machine and all
I
that,
don't think
but
anybody needs a snow machine, but that's me. That's,
But yeah, we definitely we plan to try to balance that a bit more and
Okay.
give more opportunity for those that want it in the evening.
so is there a
the way that
reason
we
why
did during
evening
the day.
is more expensive per hour?
not necessarily, it's been that way for since the last increase. Nobody said anything last year, all I did was anniversary the $80 for the 8 weeks.
And
what-
10 for the extra week.
Yeah, and added it.
Well, I feel like it should be on par with the daytime, not more expensive.
The same hourly rate, you mean?
The same hourly rate.
15.
Well, daytime pays $1.15 and
Or-
nighttime pays
yeah.
$1.25. That's just my opinion, especially considering they're gonna get more, but probably not nearly as much, from what I'm hearing, that it's more focused during the day. As long as the evening gets more, but I don't think they should be paying more per hour for less programming.
I think it's a valid point. When it says additional $90 per child for playground age students, are they allowed to just sign up for evening playground?
It used to be grouped, and then 1 year it got split. So now you can do
That was-
either or.
22 is when they went with the a la carte options.
Any more questions about the fee or conversation, or do you wanna vote on the fee schedule?
So if you're saying the fee should be different, if you're trying to align it with the hourly rate that you're looking for more in the playground, what is the appropriate evening fee?
Well, I think you're gonna have to then look at changing the daytime fee because you're gonna be skewing what they base their budget off of.
Right,
So-
so you'll reduce.
So there's two halves of the argument. Do you
Right.
raise the morning to match the nighttime,
You raise the morning
Or
10
do you-
cents an hour.
reduce the evening to 10
Both.
cents an hour? And how many hours is it in total?
Just Monday through Thursday,
It's
right?
8, yeah, it's 8. 2
Yeah, it's 8 hours, it's 8 hours a week for evening, and
So
it's
20 hours a week for day.
15 hours a week for
Oh, it's 9 to
daytime.
12, I'm thinking.
So-
15 times 9 is 90 hours. So 90 hours at $1.25 is 9, is
What circumstances I can- hold on. I'll get you a calculator.
22.
Or you can play devil's advocate. On the other side of it is, nobody's ever complained about the $80, they're getting an extra week for $10. Are they gonna be okay with that and not lose any revenue? If you lower it, you're gonna lose revenue. Are they gonna look at it as, holy crap, I get another week and it only costs me $10, sign me up. So you could try to match it up, that's one side, or you say.
Well, I mean that's just a question for the discussion. What does the night playground hourly? What does the night playground?
125 times 90 is 112.50.
So to make evening playground look like daytime playground, instead of 90, we'd be charging people 112.50.
Well, I mean, let's
So
go with
9 weeks
110 or 115 to make it.
times
I'm just
Someone-
under-
2 hours over the course of the season. And 90 divided by 72 is $1.25. For your daytime, it's 15 times 9, which is 135 hours. Divided by 135 puts you at 115 an hour. If you have 135 hours times 125 an hour, it would go up to 168.75, which is
No one wants to charge like that.
All right, so I got lost in a little bit.
it's an
in what
extra
you were going.
$13.
Which is an extra $13.
If you brought daytime up to $1.25 an hour, it would be an extra $13.
So it would be 168 instead of 155.
And if you took nighttime down to the daytime rate, it would be
Also keep in mind.
112. Is what we said.
Yeah,
No.
well, I mean, are we doing our math based off of there's no Friday night?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be 80.
Yeah, why don't we just
So
make
you're saying it'd be 80.
Actually, cheaper if you
It
brought
would
it
be
down.
cheaper for evening for us to do it, right? So to the
The
point
evening people,
you're saying evening people are being overcharged compared to daytime people.
Right.
I
'Cause
think-
they're not
I think
getting as
daytime
much
people are being
programming.
undercharged, but yes, you can look at it that way
Okay.
too.
Yes, because they're getting less programming and they're paying more per hour.
They're paying more per hour and they're getting far less programming.
Correct.
And I agree that, yes, they will
So-
get more, but probably not nearly as.
So the
not
difference that
terrible.
we're saying from what we feel we should charge nighttime based on our daytime rates would be 82 and change.
Last year, nighttime playground was 80.
Mhm.
Okay, then leave nighttime playground at 80. Is my suggestion. If
And
you
give
guys
them
don't
an
wanna
extra
charge too much and we wanna keep the numbers low this year, then I would stick with
But
$80.
now I'm confused, I thought we wanted more revenue.
I do want more revenue, but I also don't think nighttime playground should be charged more than daytime playground per hour.
You think
And you don't wanna bring up daytime, so I'm saying we have to bring down nighttime. I mean, how many kids sign up for nighttime playground?
I don't have that
It's
number.
not
Probably
as
not.
many.
It's not, it's not as much. I don't think the nighttime playground people should be penalized because they're nighttime playground.
I agree with that.
They get far less programming, they're paying more per hour. So if you don't wanna raise, which it's made clear, you don't wanna make it any higher than $155 per child, then I think you need to lose $10 per child on nighttime playground and just leave it at 80. And next year I'll fight again for an increase
For both.
for both.
I think here's my comment is I think you're gonna get people who complain and say, why do they get to pay the same thing they did last year?
How many people do just nighttime
I
program?
think a lot of people do both.
A lot of people do both. So what they see is, oh, you're only raising daytime, not nighttime.
Yeah.
And the people who do just nighttime are going, okay, this is more in line with daytime
Yeah.
pricing.
I think it's good, Mandy.
See what I'm saying?
I just disagree. I hear everything you're saying, but I think
is the
that,
average consumer, I mean, as someone who goes to playground, I have never personally considered the price per hour I'm paying for playground. It's never been something that's
No, and if
come across,
I did, I would be appalled.
yeah,
I feel like it's something that,
I've always looked at the price per hour and thought I can pay a babysitter to watch my child for one day, or I can pay for playground for
For
the
summer.
entire summer. So yeah, they're getting a major deal, and when you break it down, no, I don't think, whether they do the math or not, I don't think we should be penalizing people for nighttime playground when they get far less programming.
what was the cost for playground for this year? For the increase?
125,
125.
120,
120.
120 and 80.
I mean, I would feel leaving nighttime playground without an increase, I think is similarly a mistake. I think that from the numbers we said, getting them matched up, putting it 82.50, if we really wanna get them closer in line, I'd say, raise it $5 as opposed to not raising it at all. Just again to,
We're still being
Small
penalized, but
kids.
In the
it's,
middle at 85.
Yeah. It sounds like a good compromise.
Or we could just lump them all back together.
Make it 155 again. It's my vote.
Are there any other categories on the fee schedule anybody wanted to talk about?
no, I think everything looked good. I thought it was a lot easier the way
Yeah.
that you structured
It's a lot more clear.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely makes a lot more sense.
Can I go back? You guys have to vote.
No,
Do we vote and say that it's gonna be the 155.85, and I can turn it into, Melissa based on your approval and make the changes, or do we have to wait?
Well, I mean, ultimately, council approves this, not the rec board. Council adopts this as part of the overall fee schedule by resolution.
But I have to turn it
yeah.
into Melissa first, right?
Yeah, if if you
So,
vote
yeah, so-
tonight on this.
Okay.
I mean, I feel, again, based on what you're saying, Jen, about the difference in that hourly rate, I hear what you're saying. I don't always consider it the same way as people at nighttime playground are being penalized for nighttime playground over daytime playground. I feel like we're taking the steps to address the disparity in programming from morning playground to nighttime playgrounds. I feel like we're taking those steps. I feel like we're also aware of the budget and capacity that we're looking to accomplish those things while at the same time reducing our total output to get that done. So I feel like we're taking a lot of those steps to bring those together. And I feel like that 85 in the middle, again, if we feel like that's a big step, I feel like it's a place in the middle to show that obviously it's going up, we're aware of it, but for the sake of, the extra, $2 overall that they're being penalized
Right.
for the course of the summer. Again, I don't think it's, I
That's
don't
not,
think it's a.
that's
Right,
good,
that's equitable, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're all good with that.
So the adjustment then would be night playground being 85 instead of 90. Other than that, any other discussion on the playground fees at the moment that we haven't already been through? So in that case, I'll entertain a motion to approve the fee schedule with those amendments. Anyone like to make that motion? We have the motion, we have a second.
Second.
All those in favor of the fee schedule as amended, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, so we'll pass our portion of the fee schedule on. Thank you guys for all the discussion. Again, it's not an easy topic to get through, and I appreciate all the opinions and finding some of the ground rules. That is the end of the budget, or the end of the agenda, end of the meeting. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion that.
Motion, second. Second, consider us adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Well, it's actually-